Hi everyone. So today I just want to say a few words in tribute to the actor Bernard Hill, who died unfortunately today, 5th of May 2024, aged 79. In acting terms, he pretty much demonstrated that you could go from having absolutely nothing to being a king, as well as captain the Titanic. Now, general movie-going audiences, I suppose, may be familiar with movies such as The Bounty. He had a small role in that, as well as small roles in Gothika, The Ghost and the Darkness, Valkyrie, and Clint Eastwood's True Crime, where he played a prison warden. Now, first of all, I just want to go back to his early career back in the 1970s, which is obviously where he started out on TV, a lot of TV productions. The first one that's kind of note for me is just a small role that he had, but it was in a Mike Leigh play for today, which is Hard Labour. One of my favourite Mike Leigh productions, that one. I think it's a great drama. But yeah, just a small role for him in that one. But really, for most people, he came to prominence in 1982 in the Alan Bleasdale drama Boys from the Black Stuff. Now, I must admit, when this came on TV in 1982, I was only about 13, so I didn't watch it actually then. However, everyone knew back then the character of Yosser Hughes and his catchphrase, "Giz a job," and the fact that he headbutted people as well. So Boys from the Black Stuff, just a searing drama this. I only actually caught up with it finally about a month or so ago, and it's really still an excellent drama. But yeah, Boys from the Black Stuff. The Black Stuff here is basically guys doing labour work, laying the tarmac on roads. That's what the Black Stuff was. I always thought it was like about people working in coal mines, but no, it's not that. But yeah, so really this was Thatcher's Britain, guys dealing with unemployment, dealing with a really difficult welfare system and really struggling to get by. And Bernard Hill's role here as Yosser Hughes provided perhaps one of the more moving stories throughout this whole drama. I mean, everyone was excellent in this. We also had cast members that included Michael Angelis and Tom Georgeson. For sure, Bernard Hill is just fantastic as Yosser Hughes. So this is a character who absolutely desperate. His wife has left him. He's got 3 kids with him. He's desperate for employment. And so that's why he would just turn up in offices and building sites and just say, "Giz a job, I can do that." And so desperate to just get to work and get paid. And he's absolutely dealing with a mental breakdown as he's going through this. He's just trying to hold things together to keep his kids going, to be able to afford to buy bread just to feed them. So yeah, this is a really desperate thing. So there is humour here, but absolutely it's a really devastatingly touching drama as well. So yeah, I mean, amazing really that it's taken me such a long time to catch up with this series. But yeah, I managed to find this DVD not too long ago. So I'm really glad I've now finally seen it. But like I say, even being back when I was 12, 13, the whole country knew this series. It was a big event on TV. And everyone knew that catchphrase. So yeah, this is a hugely significant work for Bernard Hill and for the writer Alan Bleasdale. And Bernard Hill carried on doing lots of significant work in TV, but he did branch out into film as well. So the same year that Boys from the Black Stuff came out, he did get his first movie role, a small one, in Richard Attenborough's epic Gandhi. Like I say, that was followed by a small role in The Bounty with Mel Gibson and Anthony Hopkins. And then in 1984, I had to check back on my list of movies for this, but yeah, there was a movie he did in 1984 called The Chain, and it was directed by Jack Gold, who had also directed Aces High and The Naked Civil Servant and The Medusa Touch. But yeah, The Chain, I do vaguely remember this one being quite a fun kind of drama comedy about a whole load of different householders who are all trying to move properties on the same day. So they're all involved in a property chain. So yeah, I do remember The Chain being pretty good fun. I've actually just found it now on YouTube, so I've got it saved to watch later. And then also in 1984, he played the Polish leader Lech Walesa in a film called Squaring the Circle, which was actually directed by Mike Hodges, who also had directed Get Carter and Flash Gordon. And it was written by Tom Stoppard, the writer of things such as Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. 1985, another small role, but I really love this movie. This is Restless Natives, and coincidentally its lead star Vincent Friel actually just passed away as well just last month. But this is a fun Scottish comedy that involves a couple of young lads who decide to just rob tourist buses, and they become minor celebrities doing so because they wear these masks when they're doing it, and it's all good-natured in how they go about doing their robberies. So Bernard Hill played the father of Vincent Friel's character in this one. Fun little comedy, this one, kind of in the vein of the sort of Bill Forsyth comedies that were coming out in the 80s. So yeah, definitely if you get a chance to see this one, it's a nice one. A good supporting role as well for Ned Beatty in this. 1985, another film that I have seen years and years ago, but unfortunately I don't really remember it. But it's called No Surrender, and it actually reunites a number of the cast from Boys from the Black Stuff. And this was a drama that was, again, set in Liverpool, but it was involving Irish Protestants and Catholics all meeting together at a Liverpool pub. Unfortunately, I can't remember it very well. I know I liked it at the time. I did give it a rating, but yeah, I can't remember it, unfortunately. 1987, Bernard Hill gets a lead role in a drama thriller playing a computer expert who is bribed into getting some security codes for a new bank by bank robbers, and his son is then held hostage and they force him to take part in the robbery. Now, that's a movie that I still haven't seen, but it is available through Indicator, so I do intend to pick it up. In the meantime, I've always had this poster, so this is it. Bellman and True is the name of the movie, and there you can see Bernard Hill as the lead character. 1988, he had a role in a Peter Greenaway movie, and that was Drowning by Numbers. And then 1989, quite a fun one this. He was in Shirley Valentine, written by Willie Russell and starring Pauline Collins and Tom Conti. So this was quite a famous one, this, involving Shirley Collins as a bored housewife who wants to escape her husband, played by Bernard Hill, character Joe, and she escapes off to Corfu and has a fling with Tom Conti and gets to have some sort of sexual liberation and become a new woman. But yeah, this had a great script. It was a huge amount of fun at the cinema, this one, and it had a nice, just a small supporting role there for Bernard Hill, but a relevant one. And there you can see him. That is him hidden behind all of that, but there you go. Next up, 1990, and it's a film that means a lot to me. I've talked about it quite a few times on my channel, and I really hope more and more people will pick up the imprint copy that's available on Blu-ray so that they can see it. And it is the Bob Rafelson movie, Mountains of the Moon. So yeah, this is just a fantastic adventure drama, this one, that involves the explorer Richard Burton and John Hanning Speke and their search for the source of the Nile. Richard Burton in this, played by Patrick Bergin, and Ian Glenn playing John Hanning Speke. And Bernard Hill in this gets to have a really fun and memorable role as the explorer Dr. Henry Livingston. And so there's this fantastic scene when, having completed their adventures in Africa, Dr. Richard Burton goes back to the National Geographic in London and he meets with Henry Livingston, and there's this great scene where they both compare scars together, and it's really quite amusing. So yeah, a great little character role there for Bernard Hill. But yeah, fantastic movie, this, Mountains of the Moon. Often you'll hear Roger Deakins on his podcast talking about his experience of working on this movie and how he loves it. So yeah, I really hope more and more people will see this. And then the 90s saw him doing this combination of still more TV work, including being in Lipstick on Your Collar with Ewan McGregor, which was a Dennis Potter adaptation. And he was also in a couple of episodes as a chief constable in the series Between the Lines. And that was one which also reunited him with Tom Georgeson from Boys from the Black Stuff. I absolutely loved Between the Lines. That was a great series on TV. And I really, really loved Tom Georgeson in that as well. And then getting to the end of the 90s and into the early 2000s, really significant time for Bernard Hill. Maybe not major roles, but significant ones. He was the captain of the Titanic in James Cameron's billion-dollar movie. So yeah, huge amount of recognition for him in this movie. And then for Peter Jackson, he appeared as King Theoden in Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers and The Return of the King. And here, just from the booklet, there he is. And then in 2015, another big TV role, playing the Duke of Norfolk in Wolf Hall, about the rise of Oliver Cromwell, played by Mark Rylance in that, and adapted from the novel by Hilary Mantel. That was a significant series for bringing Mark Rylance, I think, to the attention of Steven Spielberg, who then cast him in Bridge of Spies. But yeah, Bernard Hill's carried on working, and perhaps the bittersweet side of this is that today, on the unfortunate date of his passing, a new second season of The Responder has just started on BBC. So he plays in that alongside Martin Freeman as a first responder who is dealing on a night shift in Liverpool with various types of issues. I haven't seen that series, but I gather it's a good one. So just my small tribute there to the actor Bernard Hill, who died unfortunately today, age 79. But yeah, explore his filmography more. There's lots of other things that I haven't mentioned. But yeah, some of those ones which are key to me, like I say, early performance in Hard Labour, Boys from the Black Stuff, absolutely a key work of British TV. I love his little role there as Dr. Livingstone in Mountains of the Moon, and certainly I will be wanting to see Bellman and True, so I do want to get that Indicator set. Okay, but yeah, let me know your thoughts and comments on Bernard Hill. Thank you very much for watching this. All the best to you. Bye-bye.